So this is going to be a lot of fun. And of course it's not going to be in the kneeboard. I have no idea why that's not working. It is saved correctly in there. I'll have to check that out. We'll worry about that another time. We have all of our points saved here. I'll just keep them up on my screen over here, my other monitor. All right. So we'll go ahead and get started up then. Right, check all my switches, make sure they are correct. All right. And we'll go ahead and motor the left engine here. And we've got engine start. Alright. Just gotta adjust button on my track hour there. Cool, that's set. That's much better. Alright, we can get the right engine started up here. And we'll get all of the systems turned on, but then we're gonna turn off the HUD there. We're definitely going to need our pitot heat on. Alright, and the first place we're gonna be going to is gonna be off of 16 X-ray. Our first landing place that we're going to is going to be Cabaletti. I'm sorry, Kataisi. Did I already pass it? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, and that's going to be 109.75. So we'll get that turned on. And we'll sure the volume's turned down on these. With TACAN and ILS turned down. Okay, let that keep coming up. I guess we can get our APU turned off. And we don't really need this, but we'll turn it on anyway. Just waiting for this to complete alignment, and we'll go ahead and start getting everything set up here. So we're going to be heading course 305, and that's going to be 10 miles. Hey, what's up, buddy? What's going on, man? We're going to be having some fun instrument flying here. It's gonna be great.
Altitude, altitude.
I'm not even gonna bother turning on countermeasures or anything. We're not gonna need them, even a little bit. We'll get the floodlights on just because we can exit. So to pick up troops and stuff, you're looking for the green smoke. You can find them by FARPs and airfields. You just need to be by the green the green smoke. we can cover that too. Okay, exit. This literally won't matter. So I'm just gonna turn it off. Because today's all about instrument flying. Yeah, pretty much. That's like what you want to do with the Huey on GOG. I mean, you can take guns and rockets and stuff and go blow up stuff. Sometimes you can hit SAM sites and stuff, and that'll work pretty well too, but also you can get shot down pretty easily. Alright. So we will set nav. Got that set up, pitot heat's on. And we are pretty much ready to go flying. Just do a quick flight control check there. And so we're going to be flying 305. We're going for 10 miles, 16 X-ray. And I always like to get our following heading in there for the next place. So that's going to be 030. So once we reach our point, we'll turn to that heading and then get our next TACAN area set up. And we won't be using any of the MFDs. There's nothing we need from them. And this is going to be 100% just instrument flying and navigation here. Alright, I'll kick off my sandals. I don't need that. We will, however, need some lights. Yep, the real deal. Well, I realized like flying at night the other day, like I was like getting really disoriented. And it was probably because I haven't done like any pure instrument flying in a while, especially in DCS. And so I figured it'd be a perfect time to kind of show everybody, you know, how to use TACAN navigation correctly and all that. We also definitely want to get our 29er13. Okay. I don't even know if it goes. It does go that low. Okay, 29er13. That's pretty low there, but that's gonna be our altimeter setting. So we are good there. And we'll get taxied out here. And we're pretty much just gonna be in the clouds this flight. So we're gonna be living on our 6-pack here. It's really more of a 5-pack. It's alright. Got airspeed, altitude, vertical velocity, rate of climb, our HSI, and our ADI. And I probably should have come up with some altitudes for this, but we'll just keep it reasonable. We shouldn't be hitting any mountains or anything. Alright, we'll put in 1 notch of flaps. Get our landing lights on. And oh, before we go, it would probably help if I change my throttle detent. I still have an afterburner detent in there from flying the F-16 last night. So we'll just switch that around. Okay, alright, we're all set. So we'll run them up. Alright, and they're stable. And we're moving. And we're looking for airspeeds coming alive. There's 70 knots, nose wheel steering off. It's 100 knots. 125. And rotate. And we're at 150. At 15 degrees nose up. Kind of get those flaps pulled up. And we're in the clouds. So we'll come right here to get on our course. And we'll keep climbing. We're climbing through 2,000 feet. Airspeed's good. And we're looking for 10 miles. We'll need to come right a little bit here. And we'll climb up to, I think 5,000 or 6,000 feet. back on our course line. So we'll turn over to our course. And we'll nose her down. Alright. And we'll get a little bit of nose down trim in there. She's still wanting to climb. Alright, and we're almost at our 10-mile mark. And we're going to be coming right 030. There's our 10-mile mark. So we're just going to keep standard angle of bank here. And we're getting a little bit of altitude. And we're going to continue our turn. Here we're looking for 030, like I said. And we want to keep her pretty level. She's got quite a bit of excess power now. So we'll go ahead and level her out. I'm going to go ahead and set our autopilot so we can go ahead and get our ILS information punched in. So we're going to be going to 67 X-ray on a course of 322. There we go. Okay, so now we're set up for TACAN. And now we'll keep this course until we intersect this line here. So we're going to maintain this here. We'll go ahead and climb back up to 5,000 feet. Hey, thanks so much for the follow, man. Appreciate it. And we're just gonna keep headed this way. So we're looking for 9.2 miles is our goal from 67 X-ray. And we'll just maintain heading 030. Once we hit that point, we're also going to be, we don't really have to change our heading too much, because we're going to be pretty much on a good path there. Looking for about 9.2, so we are on our way. We'll hold about 250 knots. And so after we get to our point that we named India, that is when we'll be landing at Kutaisi. And we'll just set up and do like a 10-mile straight in ILS approach. And so we're pretty much right on course here. And we're looking, so this is representing the radial off of the Cabaletti TACAN that we're going to be using here. So we want to intersect this right at about a little over 9 miles. And on this heading. And we'll just maintain 5,000 feet for the flight here. And we should be right at the point now. We're a little close inside, that's not a big deal. So due north is our next point. And so we're gonna just turn a couple of degrees here. And so we're going to be working off of the north radial here, and we're looking for 19 miles. After we hit this point, then we'll be making a right turn and heading towards, should be Point Charlie. And at that point, once we start getting closer here to our point, we'll need to switch over to the Kutaisi TACAN, which is going to be 44 X-ray. So it looks like we might even be intercepting it, well, a little closer than we want. That's okay. Our next point, it's going to be 44 X-ray, course line at 299. So right now what we can do is we can go ahead and move our heading bug to 044, which is where we're going to be making our right turn here. So we're a little off course, so we're going to turn and get on the course line here because we're a little bit farther in than we wanted to be. So we're going to stay on this course line until we reach that 19 miles that we're looking for, and that will be our point there. Could have corrected a little bit over. We're just a little, about 3 miles. TACAN navigation is never going to be as perfect as GPS, but the point is you'll get where you need to be. So we're about 2 miles from our point. And we're about a mile, so we'll go ahead and we'll get everything punched in here. So we're looking for 44 X-ray, and we're going to be going 299. And we can go ahead and start that right turn. So we're going to use standard angle of bank here. We're going to keep our climb and descent to a minimum. And try to keep her around 5,000 feet. And there we go, heading 044. And we'll just check and make sure we are receiving the TACAN. And the distance we are looking for is going to be 20 miles. So when we intersect this radial, we should be at 20 miles. Which right now is looking okay. As long as we keep it plus or minus about 100 feet, we're fine. But we'll go ahead and climb just a little bit here. Just very light on the controls. And we're right about on the right distance for markers here. Alright, so our next turn is going to be to Point Echo, and that's going to set us up. We're going to be turning right 096. You're right about there. Intercepting the radial, and we're going to be pretty damn close to our point there, which is going to be perfect. So we can go ahead and we will start that right hand turn now. And there we've crossed our navigation point. And we lost a little bit more altitude than we wanted to there, so we'll go ahead and get it back. Alright, and we turned a little too far, so we'll bring it back onto the heading that we're looking for. Good on that, and we'll go ahead and get our level back off here. And so we're looking for course 041, and we're looking to intersect that at 10 miles. So we look like we're pretty good on course there. And I might extend a little bit west of India just to give us longer time there for that. I'm going to leave the ILS off for now. So we're looking good right on course here. Got good speed. Matches up with our magnetic compass. And so see how we're getting just a little bit closer towards so we're going to come just a little bit left of our heading there. And that's going to be our course correction. And we're going to do a little bit to get her trimmed out here. And we can set her up right there. So the reason we're coming a little bit left of our heading is since we are 9 miles, we're trying to be at 10 miles when we intersect that. So we'll extend out a little bit and then we'll turn back into it if need be. Alright. And our next point will be turning south towards Foxtrot, so that's going to be heading of 177 there. Yep, absolutely. So it depends on like the precision of the instruments that are being used, but it will tend to kind of blow past you pretty quick, especially when you're coming at it fairly perpendicular there. So now it's started to move. We're going to set our heading 177 and see we're right at that 10 miles. We're pretty well on course here. And we can go ahead and start that turn to the south. Keep standard angle of bank here. And notice I'm not taking the time to worry about messing with the course line until we're set up on our heading there. So we're losing a little bit of altitude. We'll get that back. And it is taking quite a bit of effort here. Okay, we passed it just a little bit. So we'll come back left, make a quick correction there. And almost there. Make sure we keep 5,000 feet. And we're set up there. So our course line is going to be 100. And we're looking to intercept that at 7 miles. And then we'll be making another right turn off to the west to intercept India, which will get us out in front of the Katasi ILS. So we're a little bit farther out than we want to be, so we're going to come right just a little bit here. And that should get us corrected a little bit for the distance. And we'll get our heading set. We're going to be a little bit farther out than we want, that's fine. Heading is going to be 264. It's right about there. And we'll go ahead and start that turn. It's taking a little bit of work to kind of keep her the right altitude here. Alright, and we can get her leveled off here. regain a little bit of our altitude that we lost. Speed is still good. And for India, we're looking for a course of 253 for the intercept. And now, since India is going to put us in front of Katasi here, we'll want to look at our charts. So the runway heading is going to be 068, so that's what we will correct to. We're looking to be at least 10 miles out at about 3,000 feet, so I may extend out a little bit there to get us on a good ILS course there. And bring the throttles back just a little bit here. And this one we've got a little ways because I think Foxtrot is down over here somewhere and India's out over this way. So Katasi should be right down in here actually. And so now this should be increasing here. And we'll come left just a little bit. And I kind of should have put India a little bit farther south, I think. That's okay. We're gonna try to get kind of a little bit farther out, and then we'll make kind of a circular turn here to get us on the correct spot. So we have ILS runway 07. We have 10975 tuned. So as we can hear, we have ILS beacon there. And we have TACAN available. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to kind of hold this heading and extend out kind of a little bit. So we'll probably go out to, I don't know, 14 miles or so, because we're going to have to be descending because we want to be at 3,000 feet when we hit 10 miles. Sorry, brain fart right there. So we'll go ahead and we'll get our course set up here. So that's going to be 068. That can be found on the chart right there. We're not actually going to do the approaches because with weather like this, generally they're just going to do a 10 mile straight in. So we'll set our course line to 068, which we are essentially already on it. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna come right over here. We'll start kind of a shallow descent there. That's a little too much. And we'll kind of come off this way. And then we'll come back around to intercept. So that's kind of fine right there. We'll just keep a little bit of this descent coming in. And we want to keep it within like about 500 feet per minute area. And since we're descending, come off the throttles a little bit here. And we'll take a left turn here and come back around to make that intercept. Looking good. Nose come down just a little bit more. Not too much. So now we're 20 miles out, so what we'll end up doing, that's fine. We went a little bit farther than we wanted to. But we're going to make sure we're operating safely and that we give ourselves plenty of time to get lined up on the runway here. And so we're gonna see if we can't also get the Q and H. So towers 1, 3, 4. So we're gonna level off and hold right there. And we're looking for Kutasi.
Kutasi, in field 1-1, inbound. Enfield 1-1, Kutaisi, fly heading 092, Fort 9, QFE 28.99, runway 08, to pattern altitude.
Alright, and we're already flying 092. So we'll get our ILS turned on. And we're gonna continue our descent here until we're at 3,000. And we can actually kind of come a little bit farther right to get a longer intercept here. So we'll go wings level. And we'll hold this heading here until we intercept our course line. Which is now happening. So we're gonna get turned over here. And we are below glide path, so we're gonna hold what we're doing here. And we're definitely descending a little quickly there, so we'll get the nose up. we go. And now you can see we've intercepted the glide path as well. And now we're a little high. And we kind of captured that pretty well here. And we're gonna go ahead and get our gear down. And now you don't want to go chasing it too far up, so right now we'll get some back trim put in there. And we'll hold level here until we've intercepted that back. And right now, look, we're about 5 miles, 1,500 feet, which is basically where we wanted to be. And we've got flaps in, some more back trim, and we want to maintain a descent around 500 feet per minute. And we're a little high on the glide path. Now we're a little low, so we're just going to level out. Until we recapture our glide path there. One more back trim. And 300 feet is going to be our minimums. And we're a little low, so we'll punch in a little bit of throttle, let that glide path come back down to meet us.
1-1. A-10C, check landing gear. Wind 090 at 3 meters per second. Runway 08.
Altitude, altitude.
And we are at minimums. Almost at minimums. And we can see the runway. We're on a good slope here, so we'll continue. And there's our marker. We have runway in sight. And now we're working visual. That was a little hard on the landing, but all in all, not too bad. Well, that was the point. You're supposed to actually use your window after you can see the runway. But there we are. So we have navigated without touching a map, taking off from Batumi. Made our way all the way to Kitasi here. No maps, no... I was gonna say no insurance, but no CDU input, no HUD, no MFDs, no seatbelt, apparently, yeah. So now we're gonna do the other half of our trip. So we're gonna go ahead and we will exit the runway, and then we will actually back taxi back down to the runway, and then we'll take off, and then we'll head over to Cavaletti.
1-1. Taxi to parking area.
So we can get taxi lights set. That was actually more fun for me than I thought it was gonna be. If I'm 100% honest. I say that a lot, don't I?